Welcome to Home Cinema and Tech Review. In this video, I am excited because I have been able to review ParisRhöne 4K finally. I had this projector about a 2 month and daily basis changing a lot of hardware. Probably I've experienced it about a 1 month and plus. I think I have enough experience to share with you what's positive, what's negative about it. In the beginning of the video, I will share probably nearly everything that there is to know about this projector with my tests included and my conclusion. But don't skip any parts. You're going to witness the picture quality. You're going to witness the entire menu and what it can do and what I like about it, what I don't like about it in the real life examples. You're going to witness all of that like my other reviews. But basically, this is by far one of the best price performance 4K projector that you can find in the market. Right now, Daddy's, I guess, day is happening and they've created another, let me just check from the phone, created another discount. And the discount is from $699 to $549. So less than $550, you're going to get yourself Android 9, HDR, LED, 4K, 24 watts of RMS, huge speakers, and quite a bit of build quality. And on the top, they're also not afraid to share 18 months of extra warranty, 40,000 hours of LED lifespan. Those are big claims, and I think this makes this projector a bargain compared to the specs and the price, like the price performance range. So it's not different in my review because I've watched a lot of reviewers review this projector. So basically it is price performance kings. Of course, there's always a catch when you go low on the price, and I will be talking all things there is to know about it. And if you want to still buy it, and probably you will, and you can buy it and you'll be happily living ever after, I suppose. So without further ado, let's dive to the specs. We got 4K Ultra HD resolution, two 12 watts of speakers from each side, and we got 24 watts of speakers, and they're really performing real 24 watt RMS. And we got 60-inch to 150-inch screen capabilities and 600 nc lumen declaration, but I've tested a little bit more. I'm going to come into that in the positive sections. Contrast ratio is 1600 to 1. Throw ratio is 1.37 to 1. And they give, like I told you, 40,000 hours of life cycle to this device, which is extreme, if you ask me, and Android 9 built-in. So these are technical specs. You probably cannot find in the market a competitor against this. And I'm going to talk about also both projectors if you ever decide to compare to this in the beginning of the video. So we got two HDMI. You're going to see the box content, by the way. So at the back, connections, physical qualities and stuff, you're going to see all that. But I'm going to tell you what I love in the background. You got two USB ports and two HDMI ports, which is rare to see. A lot of connections with this price range. Even with the highest price range, sometimes you don't see, if they have internal Android, they don't put the second HDMI port, maybe even the other one. So it is interesting, built-in Android plus two HDMIs. Even the Epson's 4K, some smart version long throw projectors doesn't have that, with probably double the price of this one at least, and didn't have the contrast ratio of this projector. So I think I've covered many of the things about it. So what's positive, what's negative? Let's just dive in. You're going to see the specs in the screen. The positives are this device is delivering in the tests, like when I do the measurement, 680-ish nc lumen volume, which is higher than their declaration. Their original declaration is 600 nc lumen and they're giving 680-ish. So basically they are giving more power than they are declaring. So they are, proving themselves. They are not overboosting their performance by showing off. And maybe it's about also the brand reputation. This is ParisRhöne and it's from 1915. So this is a known brand in the region. and they are expanding their product line, and they don't want to create the new product line probably with a bad image. So that is also positive on that side. We got 190 plus watts of power consumption, which is good compared to the bulb projectors when you push the limits. And we got 30 milliseconds to 35 milliseconds delay, which is good. You can play casual games in a 4K resolution with your console, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X to this. And I think those are the things that we need to know. But there are some things that we should be thinking about, like 65.5 SDR color space. So this means this is not the most accurate color space projector, and that's normal for the price. And some of the also bulb known projectors are not in the full color space, if you ask me. And bulb projectors are lacking a lot more contrast than these. So one of the positive sides that I loved, the picture is crisp, clear. I wasn't expecting that. It was catching the Optoma UHD 35 level-ish. So it's very difficult to catch that level with this price range. Optoma is probably 30-40% expensive than this, and it's a bulb projector. This is an LED. And I'm going to talk about, in interesting perspective, people forget about, if you're going to decide to buy this projector, you're going to probably think about bulb 4K projectors compared to these close priced projectors. And I also did the same. What happens is, if you use a bulb projector, let's just say a ViewSonic and BenQ, because most of the time, and Optoma, include the Optoma, it doesn't matter. Generally, they declare in the Super Eco mode 15,000 hours of lamp life, maybe sometimes 20,000. But they don't tell you the number of NC lumen if you go Super Eco mode, how bright the picture is. So we made a measurement, and it's kind of like a similar with some other YouTubers' tests, and it's a known product. That's why it happens. The ViewSonic PX701, it's a known Full HD, right? And it has 3,500 lumens on their website, not NC lumens, lumens. In general calculations, theoretically, if you divide it 2.4, you get yourself a 1,450-ish NC lumen. But the ViewSonic in the tests performs around 1,800-ish NC lumen. So this is the brightest level. This is near the half of their lumen declaration. And if you put it in the Super Eco mode, from 1,800, it drops like a rock to 300 something. So which means it is sixth of the power they're giving from the full when you go to the Super Eco. Normal is here, Super Eco power is here. So it's nothing near Super Eco. We all know that, like when you put it the Eco and the Super Eco, everything dims down. But you missed the one point. These projectors are giving the entire power, their entire life cycle. LEDs, lasers, and some other maybe new technologies that are, I don't know their name maybe. But compared to the bulb projectors, these are not lacking the contrast and the brightness levels over the time like the bulb models. So if you ever think to buy something close to this with a bulb, just consider all this. I might create another video, maybe compare it with the Optoma UHD 35 if you like this video so much, and see if the contrast difference is worth to have this or Optoma UHD 35 instead. Because in my opinion, this gives hell of a lot black and hell of a lot contrast because of the technology and my eye levels. I've used the Optoma UHD 35 for 6 months, maybe even more, and I know it. I still have it in the office. This beats the beep out of it when it comes down to the contrast. But isn't there anything bad about it? Yes, there is. So there will be always a catch. This thing is built-in Android is Android 9. It works good if you're casting using YouTube and regular stuff. It doesn't have a licensing. So it is a default Android theme, which you can find many in the market. it's not dedicated to ParisRhöne. They are trying to upgrade, so I had a firmware update once, and I made that update, even though I had one issue with the software. I loved it. It really works fast, and it's about the casting, about the proper screen, Netflix, YouTube, everything works. But when you're thinking about licensing and the perfect picture experience, if you're a digital content viewer, you might want to add this to a dongle or Apple TV or a console, PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X in my case. So that is one thing. The second thing is when you play YouTube, the internal YouTube playback is good at Full HD, good at 1440p, and that's like a 2K. And then if you go to 4K, you got probably 30 to 40% drop frame. So probably internal YouTube capabilities are not best match for the 4K resolution of the device. It's not a bad thing for me, even though 2K is way more than enough and the projector is 4K, you will get a crisp, clear image and you're going to get the image quality in the image quality section. Don't worry about it. But basically, it's a thing to know. It's not bothering me for the price. I can easily live up with it. But basically, if you care about this stuff, if you think about another dongle, another console, you're going to add to the volume. Isn't there anything else bad about it? The fan noise is like the LED life cycle is 40,000 hours. That's great. But you got a fan noise. The fan noise, depending on the distance, I measured it from 50 centimeter. But if you go 1 meter, you're going to get less noise. But from the 50, maybe 40, 30 centimeters, starting up like 59 decibels, and you're going to drop like for the 1 meter, 42, 45, up top, maybe 40 decibels, from 40 decibels to 60 decibels if you get close. So this is, I need to describe it because if you're not good with the decibels, that's not going to do any good. But regularly, bulb projectors, if they are big case like this one, they tend to have, in the normal mode or echo mode, they have like 30 decibels. And if you push up the brightness at the max, like a normal mode, they tend to go 36, maybe up to 38. Up top, maybe 40. But we are talking about 50, 59 here. 60 decibels is a huge number. Let me just remind you, decibel values are exponentially going high. So the 40 decibels and 50 decibels, it's not 25% increase. So you might want to check that out, the sound differences. So for me, you can use this projector. If you're going to use it with headphones and earbuds, no problem. But I've heard the sound with my AKG earbuds from Samsung smartphones old days, like S10. And I was using it with my Xbox gamepad like I always do at night. I've heard the sounds from 1 meter with the earbuds in. So that's a lot of noise. But the projector was 1 meter away from me. So one other thing that you need to know about the fan noise and the setup, you need to put this projector in a high level because it's projecting 50%, like this. I explained it early videos with the Wambus, but basically all LEDs and laser projectors in the budget category, they tend to, without zoom models, they tend to project like the 50%. So they are projecting right in the middle. So that means if you want to see the eye level, you need to put this somewhere around your eye level. I'm roughly speaking. So if you put it like this, the half of the visual will go up, half of the visual will go down. So I'm not going to do this section long because I'm going to probably make a dedicated video. But if you put this thing around your head level, and if you put it close to your head level, the fan noise will be, might be an issue for people that are, going to use them without, external sound setups or less noisy environments like me. Because most of the time I watch movies when my kids and my wife in the sleep. When they're in the sleep, I can't push the volume, can I? So if you push the volume, you're not going to hear it because you got great 24 watt speakers that will fill 25 to 30 square meter room in a huge base. It's really interesting. Everybody loved this picture quality and the sound when they watched a couple of movie trailers. And I will show you the picture quality, but basically, if you're going to watch it in a dark room all alone, sometimes like me in the dark, well, you might want to consider the fan noise. Even if you dim the brightness, the fan noise stays the same. That is maybe the reason of long life, like 40,000 hours. So you get some, so you lose some. That might be improved. Those things might be improved in upcoming versions of the ParisRhöne. I think they are in a very good direction with the product. There's literally very little things to complain about it for the price. Like we're going to get around the up top $699, and in the declaration, like discounts like this, Daddy's Day and custom discounts, you're going to find the discount codes, and you're going to get a $550 product. And that is 4K with a 40,000 hours of life and good speaker. This is a lifestyle projector. So one thing is for sure, and if you want to put it with the 50% throw ratio, you got a little bit of leg there. I would have wished this leg to be longer, like this, but it's like this. So it's creating a thumb level of height. So that's what happens. So basically, I really love this projector from placement, from image quality, from sizing, and also bottom of the connections. I loved, and also there's a huge filter. You're going to see it in the up close shots. You're going to love this projector, and some of the specs, maybe YouTube 4K capability could bother you. It didn't bother me. 2K videos, 1440p are more than enough with me, and I really love the remote, how it reacts. And everything is about it in the design. Autofocus works great, fast, and sharp. So I think I covered nearly entire conclusion in the beginning of the video. But as always, this video will have sections so you can go back and forth. Don't count my negatives into entire negatives, because many of the things are happening for all LED laser single non-focused lens product. Like, I'm not saying this lens is the only element, but I'm talking about without the zoom, without the lens shifting equipment, every projector has probably 50% throw ratio when it comes down to this lifestyle projectors. So you take them out and place it on a place, and then you're good to go. The only thing that you might be carrying out, like thinking about, if you're going to put it on a ceiling, since it's a 50% throw ratio, you're going to have to lower it down compared to the bulb projectors, or at least like 0 degree throw ratio, throw angle projectors compared to the regular bulb ones that we know it. So if you lower it, you got a good projector. If you don't, you got a keystone. But I don't want to use keystone with something extremely sharp like this. I want to get the best. So if you're wondering what it will perform against the Optoma UHD35, give it a lot of thumbs up to this video. I might be doing a side-by-side compared to one of the best price performance bulb 4K projectors in the market. Still, even today, maybe Optoma UHD36X might be the thing, but basically you will get a clear idea comparing a contrast ratio with this one, sharpness and other stuff. So, hope to see you in the next video. Don't skip any parts, because if you do, I know there's analytics. So YouTube analytics will tell me what you've been doing with my videos. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye from Home Cinema and Tech Review. Welcome to the box opening section with a huge box from ParisRhöne. This is 36 centimeters to 29 centimeters, and in the depth 36 again. This is a big boy in any angle when you look at it. This is an arm size. So this is a big, proper muscle size projector. 4K 2160p, a smart TV function, wireless Wi-Fi, and automatic keystone. All these things we already know about it if you watch the intro. The born in Paris since 1950. So ParisRhöne, I'm trying to pronounce it right. at least as much as I can. I don't have a French, but basically you see the brand heritage. It's been here for a long time. So without further ado, I'm going to open up the box. We got the logos around the side and also the barcode code, QR code. So when we first open up the box, we got accessories, and I'm going to wait a couple of seconds for that, and I'm going to reverse the box because it is heavy and I don't recommend to get it by pulling it, or if you have two-person, it'll help you out. I'm not saying this is humongous, but this is heavy. So if you're not good with this sort of stuff, like balanced stuff, I suggest do it slowly. So this is a big projector. Just take a look at this size. I know it seems a little small from the camera angle, but it's big. So I will put the projector side, and what do we have from the box? We have a dedicated power brick, and it's quite big. I'm going to show you close-ups. We got power cable for it, little short, but we are going to talk about it. We got a HDMI cable, and we got remote control, a good-looking remote control with the basics on it, every basics on it, user manual, and that's about it. So I finished the box content. So let's get close to the box content itself before diving deep into the projection own physical abilities. This is the power brick, and this is 36 volts and 3 amp max, which means it's also saying 240-ish watts of output if you need that sort of power from this. This is feeling like a high-end game laptop power brick. It works really with any kind of like PC cable. So I didn't remove these. Sides of this power brick is piano black. So it looks a little bit of brushed and piano combination. It looks expensive and high-end. And the power cable is not long compared to the projector. It's about 40 centimeters, but you can change it with any power cable. I will probably use my 5-meter cable if I want to place this upwards towards the ceiling or place it on a bookshelf, because I don't want my power brick flying around. That's one of the things that I love about it. So this is a good touch, not a fixed cable, because my LG did have a fixed cable and I did a lot of problems with it, where to put the adapter. So the HDMI cable is here. Before diving deep into the projector, I want to show you how detailed the user manual and the box content is. So basically, they thought about nearly everything of this projector, and you can really understand and learn. But I'm going to show you up close what is most important for a lot of people. The throw ratio. You got yourself 1.4 meters and 4.6 feet, 47 inch. If you can focus 47 inch with this projector, you'll be probably blindly, extremely bright like an OLED TV. And 60 inch, again, the same from 1.8 meters. 80 inch from 2.32 meters, like 2.32. And 100 inch from 2.95, which is a short throw ratio, like not extremely short, but we can call this projector a short throw kind of, I guess. And 120 inch from 3.5, 150 from 4.3, 180 with 5.2, and 200 from 5.8, which means you can clearly create 120, 150 and above sizes probably in a lot of homes. But if you have, even with a small room setup like 2.95 meters, which probably if you have a proper room, you will have at least around 3 meters, you will get around 100 to 120 inch sizes, and those sizes are pretty big from 3 meters, believe me. So this projector really delivers a big picture in a small space, what it's intended to do. I'm going to get closer to the remote. Remote feels quite tactile feeling on the buttons, and around the side it looks like, as you can see, an angle. It just starts small and ends up a little thicker and slim to the thick a little bit, and it really just fits your hand perfectly. We got a focus button on the center, focus left and right or plus and minus button, sound buttons, mute button, home, details, return, OK, and navigation buttons, Bluetooth button, settings button, and source button. These are the most important buttons that we use. and so far so good, and power button, and that's it. So I'm going to take the remote aside and take a look at this projector. I'm going to take the box because it's, taking our attention, some of the accessory box away. First thing we see is the silicone cover or rubber cover. And I love this because it really protects the stuff when you're carrying, and you can carry this from summer house or backyard if you're going to project outside of the home to the wall or any kind of like surface, proper surface. So we got a cloth on the front, and we got a sensor on the front again for autofocus, auto keystone, which this device really does quite well. And what else do we have around the side? We got a pretty good ventilation system. As you can see, if I put it up, we got a lot of holes for ventilations, and we got huge speaker here. You can't see it, but these things have proper audio. You're going to see the specs in the screen, huge volume, and I will test it in the dedicated sound quality section. Don't worry about this, but you're going to hear it. This is pretty much enough for its own, as its own. So we got another speaker here, ventilation holes here. We got ports at the back. And before the ports, let's show the upside, ParisRhöne logo and power button, LED, and free 18 months of extra warranty. Just scan the QR code to activate within the 12 days of purchase, it says. So other than that, what else do we have at the back? Power input from adapter, DC in, at Ethernet port, USB 1, USB 2. That's a nice touch. 2 USB ports, HDMI 1, HDMI 2, and sound port and USB-C. All these things are good touches to see it around, because you don't want, if you put this on a ceiling setup, you want to have cable set up, because it really gives the confidence of not losing any kind of like connection, and the fastest connection as possible if you're going to watch 4K content. And 2 USB ports will give you, one of them at least will power up if you include something like an external dongle to your own, if you have a dedicated cinema dongle or kind of like an Android box. But this device has a built-in Android. So seeing with a built-in Android device with a 2 HDMI port is a nice touch, because most of the time many manufacturers' choice is going to be probably getting down the cost by get rid of one HDMI port, because since they have built-in Android, you're going to probably install one other thing. But with this, you got 2 HDMIs and the built-in Android itself. So what you can do, in my opinion, my personal choice would be, one is for Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 console, gaming console, and the second would be for like a TV satellite receiver, because you can use it with the long time of the LED life cycle. You can use it as a TV daily. So you can get this one a TV satellite receiver, in my opinion. Other than that, you got like audio output, 3.5mm jack and Type-C. You might want to look out for a maybe optical output, but since you have a Bluetooth, that's not a big deal for me. Many of the times I use big sound bars, but this device can deliver a huge amount of sound. And since this is planned as a lifestyle projector to be all-in-one, many of the people probably will use it with the internal speaker, because it is quite good. For 25 meter square meter, 30 meter square meter room, this will be enough. We tested with a couple of people around the home and office, and everybody says the same. The sound is enough. What more do you want? But basically, you can want more than just 300, 500 watts of power if you get used to the soundbar. So this is not this is not a big deal, but there's no optical output here, and that's about it. When we go to the bottom of it, you got yourself a 4-point of shoes, silicone feet, and inside these silicone feet, let me just get close. As you can see, there are holes in the feet itself. So that means you got a 4-point connection point for your ceiling mount, which means you don't have a plastic surface to put the ceiling mount on. So your ceiling mount won't be scratching your projector. That's a nice touch. And it will also reduce the vibration that can be happening for your, fans and this device when this device is open. Basically, it doesn't, vibrate at all, but it's a nice touch. I haven't seen this for a while. at least many of the projectors. So we got a huge filter. It feels like a 12 to 14 centimeter fan filter from a PC, but custom design. So you got 2 points. You can't take it out because it's protected with one screw hole. You got to take the screw and take the cover away and then clean your filter. But that means this device is really carrying for against the dust. And we got one click here. What it will do is when you hold it like this and put it on, it just another leg comes out and it gives this device an angle. It gives a one finger or maybe one finger, more than just a one finger, maybe a thumb up of a size. But you need it because these projectors are projecting 50% projecting angle. So it's projecting right from the center. It's not projecting like above, like presentation projectors. So you need to put this device a little higher. But if you want to use it casually from a distance, then you really love this feat because you're going to need it. I wish it would be a little longer, but probably this is the angle of less distortion, in my opinion, because higher you go, you create an angle for throwing, and then you gotta skew and correct it with the 4-point keystone. So without further ado, this physical part is over. Let me just put the remote control here. Oops, that thing's happening. So remote control here, and we're going to continue to the review. In this section of the video, I am in the studio, and right now the picture that you see from ParisRhöne 4K is 128 inch. I know that's a weird number, but there are things around the studio which blocking the visual. You can easily create 150 without a problem. And it is about let me just give you an idea what is the 128 inch like. The length of the screen is 280 plus centimeters. So when you go 3 meters, you're going to get 135, which I use at home right now. So this is basically a very good crisp, clear, great picture, and you can easily use it in 150 inch. So dive into the menu, the first stage. When you go to the search, and this comes like this, I pushed the buttons a couple of times to the bottom of the screen. You got your apps without writing anything on the left search menu. Prime, Netflix, Plex, VLC, if I remember correctly. I've installed it later on with the APK file, and MX Player is from me again. Disney Plus, Tubi TV, and ESPN, and Kodi, if I'm not sure, but it could be from their side. So let's go up, go back, and home. Home is simply basically 80%, 90% default Android theme without license projectors. So it's nothing interesting here. On the beginning up top, we're seeing some different applications. And when we go below, we got Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Tubi TV. When we go down, we got other apps. Let me just, by the way, try to do it. I'm going to get close because the studio has a lot of Wi-Fi signals and sometimes blocks. And the recommendation of videos doesn't mean anything to me. So this is the home section. Let's go to the apps. Apps, when you go to the app, we got Tubi TV on top. If you go right, you got TED and Spotify. Video, news, music, sports, lifestyle. The thing that kind of like bothered me, and probably I told in the entry section of this video, is App Store. So you don't have a Google Play, you don't have the license. That's why you can install APK files to this device from file browser. So you can install APKs to a USB drive and try to install it later on. But most stable way to install, because I tried it with the USB thumb drives, the best way is use the Chrome browser built inside and go to a website, download the APK internally and try to install it from there. If it's too big, of course it's going to be a little difficult, but I don't want you to install something too big to this device. So what if we go a little bit on the side? We got File Manager. That's a nice touch to have a file manager. Netflix, Miracast if you want to cast, and those things are working properly. I'm going to show you settings separately. Bluetooth speaker, you can use it, 24 watts of speaker, and it sounds great. But I'm not sure if you're going to use it with speaker, as a speaker with a fan noise. Would you like to do it or not? But you can do it. Happy Cast, Chrome, YouTube, APK Pure. which I've installed later on if you want to use another market, but I don't think these markets APP and APK Pure are working great because you cannot easily search like a Google Play in it and MX Player, and I have also later on YouTube Lite I will mention later in the video. So that those stuff are basically the entire second APPS section. So when you go to the video, movie, entertainment, kids, sport, live, and some of the recommendations, movies, hot stuff, and the declaration. And the music, when you come to the music, radio line, pop, rock, jazz, exotic, light music, and My Tuner, Amazon Music, Deezer, MTV, Spotify, that's normal, and some video recommendations. And when you go to the settings, you got two options, settings and options. When you go to options, I'm going to show this one first because it doesn't have too much of a thing, just the terms of use, privacy, and add options, so nothing there. So when you go to the settings, this is the section probably will be important for a lot of people. Let me just get back. We got Wi-Fi on the left. When you click, you see Wi-Fi settings, wired settings, hotspot. So you can use the Ethernet port at the back, I suppose, if you want it. It's a good touch if you're going to mount it on a ceiling setup kind of, or a bookshelf that is fixed. You don't want to use it with the Wi-Fi. It will be more stable than, I'm not saying this device is not stable with the Wi-Fi. It worked great at home and the studio with lots of Wi-Fi signals and blockers also working together. Bluetooth settings. What do we have in the Bluetooth? We got Bluetooth device connection. As you can see, I got, so the device name is also the model name, ParisRhöne SP005. Nothing interesting there. So we can scan stuff. I have Bluetooth receivers and big speakers here because this is both studio and also cinema kind of like setup. My old speakers from the home right now in the cinema setup. Scan, pair devices and available devices if you're going to use this section. So projection settings is probably the one that we use. The front, and if you do projection mode, and all you can see back, forth, up, down, kind of like all four versions are available. If you're going to back project, rear project, or up top like reversed, everything is there. Trapezoidal correction right now is open. If I close it, right now it's doing its thing as automatic. Automatic trapezoidal is open right now. Sorry about my language there. Automatic enter the screen is right now closed, and obstacle avoidance is closed. Let me just open that. Startup automatic trapezoidal correction right now is open. I think it's a good stuff that when you first open the projector to have the auto correction, because you might want to move from one place to another. But if you're going to use it in a bookshelf or fixed setup like a bedroom, you're going to leave the projector in a one space like a ceiling mount. You don't want to use that. And having ability to close that is a good thing. Startup automatic enter the screen and automatic obstacle avoidance in the startup. Right now I'm going to do some things in open. 4-point correction. Let me just go there. And as you can see how much I'm going to move it. Let's just see. I can extremely skew the image. So this also gives you like a very angled shots easily possible, but I made a dedicated video. So I'm going to put it down, also show you how far you can go. So you can skew the image quite much. But basically I made a dedicated video. Don't throw your visual from, side angles too much, because you're going to optically create a potential problem. This is the best way to go. Go straight as possible. If you haven't watched my straight projection video, just watch it and learn it. You don't want to side angle too much, maybe at least more than 15 degree. Manual focusing right now is optional, and digital zoom, let me just show you how much you can go. I'm going to push it down so you can go 60%. And from 128 inch, this is like a TV size. Of course, you're digitally zooming in, so you're losing actual pixels. But if you're going to fix it on a ceiling and use this setup, both for TV and also as a projection setup, If you don't want to watch like TV shows, like news, as a huge 128-inch screen or 150 in other case, because it can do it. So that way you can have an option like that. But I'm going to go big again to the 100%. So those things are creating the projection settings. And system update, I've tried it. I've got one update, and let me just check it with you if there's another update. Right now the version is 1018 while I test about it, so you can also look at that if you like. And later on we got other settings here, and power on the source, and power mode is on the standby right now. Let's just go in HDMI 1, HDMI 2. So if you want to choose a power on source when it's first powering on, like you're going to connect your Xbox, PlayStation, or whatever that you have from other sources, you can do it. But basically most of the time these are lifestyle projectors, and I use them in the casual Android settings for default. Language and brightness settings. Let me show you language in the fast pace. We got English right now, but you can with the Android, let's just click the others. You can basically see every kind of possible language if you need to. This video list is huge, so I'm going to not talk about everyone. The brightness adjustment is interesting. I probably told you in the conclusion section, but basically if I dim it down, okay, fan noise is the same. So the only thing that you want to do it for, if it's bothering too much of a light up scenes and if you don't want to see it bright. But I don't think it's affecting the working situation, but it might be changing the LED life of the projector. I'm not sure. Technically there is no info about it, and there is no echo mode for these devices. They are working pretty simple and with the stock Android itself. So when you go to the about, and this is the place that we are here. This is default Android 9, not an Android 11. We got memory information of 0.92 gigabytes and 2 gigabytes it says. And ROM capacity. Right now we got 2 gigabytes of RAM, but only have 0.92 gigabytes available at the moment. And since I didn't have installed too much of a thing, and ROM is 16 gigabytes, but I got 10 because I've installed some stuff, but definitely I didn't install too much of a thing. So you don't have the greatest specs on the internal hardwares of the Android, and I will show it to you in the next section probably. In this section, I'm going to hit the power button and want to show you the startup animation, which I loved. Sorry about the noise. The studio is filled with equipment. Let's just see how it starts. I think it has a cool starting animation. And right now, even in this scene, without anything add on later on, the contrast is great. And I really love the animation of the brand logo. It just creates a good image from the start. Just goes back and forth, and you feel like it's happening quite fast. So it's opened as usual. This is a default Android, and you've seen probably, if you watch this section, some other sections, you've probably seen it. It's connected to Wi-Fi of the studio. Let's just dive into the YouTube. So I want you to see the picture quality. The sharpness is, for the price, one of the best. And I think I will probably make a comparison video for you later on in the upcoming videos if I can find the time, with the Optoma UHD35, which is a 4K around 3600 ANSI lumen projector, and it's DLP. So even in this scene, this is a white wall, no ALR. And without the ALR, APK Pure has an update. Without the ALR, this picture looks like a painting on a wall, or just like an actual picture right in front of you of the real life scene. I really can't sometimes explain the reality of the contrast. So this is not my native language, so sometimes things become difficult. Please understand that. So right now I'm playing internally YouTube, and I'm going to show you some potential things. Let's just dive first how much the resolution. Right now the resolution is 1440p at 60. The reason is, let me just go back, this is not a too sharp video. Let's go to this and then I will change some gaming footage as well. So basically the sharpness is great, but like I said probably in the conclusion, internal YouTube is only working up to good in 2K resolution. If you push to the 4K, it drops frames. But some of the drop frames could be with my, office network, but I also tried the cable network. I think it's because of the internal hardware choice. So you got yourself a price performance product, but you're giving up some along the way, but it doesn't matter as long as you got the great picture like this. If you're going to connect from each 2 HDMI ports, you'll be happy with this picture quality. Let me just stop it and to show you. Some of the drops are because of the internet here is probably 3 signal for the Wi-Fi. Just I'm going to go back and show you some city details because some of the close-ups could be, not sharp enough. Let's go to this and see the cityscapes. Let me just stop here because this is a great scene. Let me just stop. Okay. Okay, I've stopped. So this scene is important. Reason that I've stopped here is to show you the black here and the black of the rest of the wall and the black here. So since there is no light coming here and above, and there is this screen is very close to the ceiling, this could have gotten a little less contrasted, but the contrast is great. If you're seeing a little bit of pale gray in the camera is trying to shoot kind of like HDR. Let me just check that. I am not seeing that lit area. So maybe I tune it in the editing to show you the true blacks. So this picture is perfectly flat all around. The wall and the image, rest of it is the same. So that's why everybody is talking about the contrast and the sharpness of this projector. Right now, don't forget, we are playing 2K footage from YouTube. This is not even 4K footage. So the performance is even better if you can give this projector 4K video. So basically, this is one of the best projectors for the price, for the sharpness of it. Like, you cannot easily believe that this projector creates this much of a sharpness. And I'm going to hit back to show you some game footages. So basically, to do that, we gotta go for a gameplay, 4K gameplay. Let's just write that down. I know some sections are taking time, but basically 4K, and let's just space it. 4K gameplay. Okay, we got 4K gameplay footages because this device has also, I probably said in the sections of this video, is 30-35 milliseconds delay, which is very good. I played Xbox Series X with it and I really enjoyed overall picture quality with the 4K gaming console. So if you got a good console and if you're playing casual games, just take a look at this. This is playing 2K, not 4K. But take a look at this, how sharp it is. I'm going to get close with the camera to show you the sharpness of the picture. And some of the, again, getting slow is because of my internet connection. Let me just walk around with you. I'm going forward and I'm going to get close. You don't normally get close of this much of a picture, but take a look at the sharpness of this scene. I am looking where the character is looking right now and you're seeing a huge image, right? This video, by the way, 4K resolution probably, so you can get a clear idea. I'm going to get back to show you And as you can see, let's go close again to show you the picture quality, the sharpness, the edges. Everything feels good about this. Optically, you're going to love this projector. And if you're going to connect your console, you're going to fall in love for this price. But again, there are some drawbacks, like I told you. So I'm going to fix the camera again, change the game, because some settings, let's go. Maybe if I change the scene of the game, let's take a look at this. If I can move forward, okay, maybe scene will change and we will see some brighter scenes. Let's just skip the sky and okay. This might be interesting. I'm going forward in the video and I'm going to show you some else game footage too. So, of course, the internet connection and the video resolution changes along the way sometimes, but basically the picture sharpness is great. Let's go back. If there's a better 4K gaming resolutions from PS5, Spider-Man is always good. It's vivid colors and also sharp corners like a comic book, and also again new generation graphics. It's also representing the most contrast and color space of this projector. This is not the best color space projector, and we thought about it. We talked with you probably in the conclusion. I will move the scene, go front, go a little bit forward. Let's just stop in the city flying scene, famous of the Spider-Man. So take a look at this. I am really feeling the game. I am really feeling inside. So let's just take a look how much the video resolution is right now. And believe me, this is the YouTube video with a bad internet connection. So if you play the game, it will be probably 4 times sharper at the edges than this one, because YouTube really drops the video quality on the along the way of process, I suppose. So let's go back, but I'm going to show you something else in this section. Let's just go back. Resident Evil, and also Forza Horizon 5 is another criteria for me. By the way, you see the brightness difference, and I'm going to show you something interesting to create a 60 maybe inch image in the end of the video if I can. And I want to pull back to show you right now. This is a game test with the MSI Afterburner installed on the left corner, but I'm going to push a little bit of right and get to a scene where the details are. This is RTX 4090, kind of like a card. Picture is great, it's huge, and we have a lot of quality loss along the way of YouTube. So if you have, like I said, good PC, again, right now the picture is great. I will get close because the bitrate and the YouTube adjusted. Let me just get close to show you the picture quality. Take a look at this, how sharp it is. Right now I'm shooting from 50 to 80 centimeters up close to a screen. This is just probably 40, 50 inch of screen that you see, and I go back and I enjoy huge screen. This is a 128 inch setup. So reason that I go back and forth is to show you the sharpness difference. This video is 4K. You can always slow down, stop it, and pinch in if you're watching it from a smartphone or tablet style device. Right now you're seeing some drops on the YouTube video, and I'm going to show you one important thing to know about it, which you should. Let's just hit here and show you GTA 5 video. And here I'm going to show you something different. AC Mirage Extreme settings, it says. It's a bright scene, I guess, and it gives a lot of contrast, details of HDR, what this device can actually deliver. So I will stop here, okay. By the way, the device is a little bit of lacking in the 1440p setup. Right now it's 4K, actual 4K. That's why this projector is little slow. On the right side, we got stats for nerds. When you open it up, you see drop frames along the way. I will show you that. So right now, this is a static scene, 750 frames and 272 frame drops. So that means you got third of a frame drop, and that's not a nice thing. But if I drop it down like a 144p, and I will get close how beautiful the image is, we're going to see how much frame drops. Okay, no frame drops at the moment, and it will be starting to play up. Okay, this is a 2K footage at 60p. I know my internet is not good. Let me just go back and forth. Just play the video again. And it's just started. So, again, we got some drop frames. The picture is great. For 777 or 1000 image, we got 89 drop frames. So even in the 2K, we got a couple of drop frames. I give this to reason of hardware. But like I said, if you're going to go with your console, this is one of the sharpest projectors with a long LED life. Let's go to the Full HD, and it's more than enough. Is it going to be dropping any frames? And I'm going to get close to show you that game again with a Full HD resolution. So, and of course, if you cancel the keystone adjustments, auto adjustments, it's just fasten up a little bit, but still there are drop frames because of the, I guess, software or the internals. It doesn't matter. I really love the picture quality. Let me just go back again, hit the button. This scene's taking time. This is Full HD, and I'm going to get close for you again with the camera. I'm taking the camera again. Right now we got one drop frame. It could be because of the internet connection. I will get close. 9 drop frames. And it's nothing much, so you really can't feel it. See how much the detail is in these scenes. This is a very crisp, clear, good image. But of course, it's not a 2K, it's not a 4K image. So it's up to you. Use the internal or not. But basically, like I told you in the early beginnings of the video, the internal playback might be an issue for some people. For me, casting, best picture quality, sharpness, overall success of this device just outperforms like the price, performance, and what you get, what you pay for, is just overcomes all those things that I'm telling you. Probably I am repeating myself with the intro or the conclusion part, but basically this is Ghost of Tsushima, and let me just kill this settings of details, stats for nerds, just to show you Full HD. Okay, right now Full HD 60p, and I'm going to play the video. Let's just take a look at this. Great contrast, great picture. And sometimes I need to go forward to make the video adjust to the Full HD. Let's go forward, because sometimes YouTube cannot understand. Let's go forward. It works great. 30-35 milliseconds, really a good value for casual games, third-person games like this. Race games, even for the race games, it could be enough. It's not the best gaming projector out there, but for the overall price, 4K, latency, picture quality, contrast ratio, probably you can't find anything better than this, at least for the price range. Again, I'm repeating this, but it needs to be repeated. So, after all these things, I want to do something interesting and go back again to the menu. And what if we do home, okay? What if we do something interesting, okay? Let's just go to amazing color. of animals. And this is full HD video. What if I do 60-inch style video? I'm going to take the projector, and this is heavy stuff, and I'm going to move forward. This is about 65-inch, and I'm going to move the projector, okay? And let's see if it does the autofocusing. This is one of the important points. And wow, that's amazing. Really sharp image. Right now this became really TV. Let's just go back. I'm doing it for the first time for the review because in my setup I use it 130-inch, 135-inch with the 3 meters. I don't use projectors like this, but basically if you want to do, having the close focus distance is also another plus because you got a lot of contrast just like a TV. Let's just hit the play button. Okay, same footage again. Brightness, of course, when you go 4 times smaller, you got 4 times more exposure. So this really feels like a TV right now. And I'm going to get close, but before that, let's just go close first. This is the 65-inch, and this is the image for 65-inch or around that number. This feels like a TV even with the full HD YouTube footage. Right now this is not a 4K YouTube footage. If you go 4K, like I told you, you should be doing external sources, but even this looks great and amazing on the sharpness. I'm getting to the tip of the video and go back a little bit. The contrast, the picture quality, sharpness is great. Let me just adjust the camera and show you something interesting, okay? Let's just do it on the fly. I've opened one light, and right now you're clearly seeing me. But what is interesting, right now this video is in the auto mode. The camera is auto exposuring. This, without an ALR, is a watchable TV style picture. And the room light is a book readable kind of like room light. Normally, you don't use projectors with a white wall or a white screen with this sort of setup. But if you have casual ambient lights or LEDs on underground around the furniture like my home setup, you can use this as a TV daily. With the 40,000 hours of LED life, this is a great picture for 65 and 75-inch TV sizes. So you got 2 options. If you got a rail system, you can mount it on a ceiling and use it with 65 or 75 as a daily TV with the 40,000 hours of LED life, and you can push it back or take it out and push it back when you want to watch big screen. That's another option. So this is kind of like interesting. Normally close focus is difficult for autofocus projectors, and that's getting a plus for me. I will get close for you guys, and definitely I am seeing much more better picture than you as a contrast, but the camera is trying to auto adjust. I will show you. This is a lit environment. Right now the picture is adjusting to the brightness of the projector, and you're seeing the more realistic stuff that I see. Of course, some of the blacks are down, but even this creates a huge contrast. That's what I see. So when I go back, as you can see the white area, let me just repeat the process so you can understand it. I know it's taking time, but take a look at the wall, okay? Wall is white and looks great, right? So when I get close, this is what my eye sees, because the camera adjusts automatically to the screen brightness. Screen is very bright. This scene is very bright. So when it happens, the brightness actually happens on the screen. The camera auto adjusts, and you're right now seeing a picture just like what I see, as much as it can. So when I go back, the wall just lights up. That's how it is. So I'm going to try another trick to do. Let's close the light, go back as far as I can. So in this studio, it's going to be probably like this. Right now I am hitting to the other wall. There are a lot of obstacles, and right now the screen length is more than 3 meters. So let me just double check it. By the way, it's trying to have the focus. Let's just wait a while because distance is too much. And if it can't, yes, there are lots of obstacles, nothing bad about it, but we have a remote control with back and forth. So can I focus? Yes, I can return the focus system. And it's getting there. Yep, I got a great sharp image. And don't worry, some of the things are moving along, but yep, this is a big picture. Let me just do it again. Yep, I've handled some of the brightness. Yes, autocorrection because of the obstacles, but the image length was about, let me just tell you, when it's white, around 3 and a 10. So that means we were able to do it around 140-inch-ish sizes. And I'm going to do an up and down. This section is just to show you how fast this device just applies, because I did it with the many projectors that I've tested so far. So it is working very fast on the autofocus. The reason is of these angles are the projector has some sort of, let's just do it along this side. If the projector has some sort of element on the front, trapezoidal correction automatically happens. So if you don't have any obstacles in front, you won't have a problem, but sometimes it misses. I'm going to get close again, try one more time for you. So normally I don't do that much. Okay, so right now everything is clear. It shouldn't be doing any correction. Again, it does. So basically it lost a little bit along the way. So we're coming at the end of the video. I'm going to do one more thing, the sound test, and you're going to see also screen latency. This section is over. In this section, I'm going to shout a bit in the first because this projector has 24 watts of speaker, and right now we are in, let me just show you the volume, 55%, which you can adjust it. Just focus on the deep bass and sound quality because it sounds quite louder than you probably expect for 24 watts of speakers. It felt more to me. So let's start with a couple of the tests. This section will be about the audio quality overall. So right now the echo that you're hearing is, I am using omnidirectional recording and the room doesn't have the, audio reflection protections. And just try to focus on the deep bass and quality. Just use your headphones and earbuds. I'm trying to give you as much as variations, and we need to go to the channel. So find out different videos. For this, I need to go, I guess, here.
Kedileri seviyorsunuz ama kedi tüyüne hassasiyetiniz mi var? ProPlan Live.
Sorry about the ads. And let's just try some different stuff so we can have more ideas. I think it's great. Some case and driver vibrations are happening. Let's go classical then. Here and open up the lights. In this section I'm shouting it a little bit of voice coming echoey, I know, sorry about that, no microphone, but this device really sounds great. 50% everything is clear, 60% or 75% depending on the stuff that you watch. I can't open up videos for movies like trailers, but definitely I didn't have any problem with the trailers. Some of the musics that in the copyright breaking copyright website or channel is a little bit difficult to explain in the tunings. Like their volumes are higher and lower depending on the music. So really, it shouldn't be bothering you with any kind of level of audio. When I close the room lights, of course, you're going to see some amazing brightness from the screen. So this section is over.